Hey guys, and welcome to the One on One in 10, where you get to see a new indie artist from around the world one on one in 10 minutes. I'm your host, Ayasha Roberson, and I am back today with a new artist. So I want you to help me welcome Mr. Jack Blake from Buffalo, New York.
Oh, thank you so much, Ayasha. I
So
really appreciate it.
you're welcome.
You can
So
just
you
click a
are
button.
actually the first artist that we have had from New York that has been
Really?
featured on our show. Yes. So
Oh, all right.
welcome.
That's great. That's
Yes.
great.
And we're in New Jersey, so we're like neighbors, even though you're
I
already in
know.
Buffalo.
I've been to
But
Jersey. I've been
yes, yes,
there.
yes. So I want you to tell our fans about your music. Can you tell us how you started your musical career?
Well, I mean, as a career, I've just been chipping away. I started when I was very young. Obviously, I'm a lot older now. Um, Really, within the last 6, 7 years is when I started re-recording my originals and stuff because I played all the cover bands and I was doing like coffee shops and I mean I was doing anything, but there was a point where I just wanted to be able to do a full song, so I started doing I bought some multi-track recording equipment. In fact, I was showing my kids how to do it because I got a son that plays, and I bought it and I just lay down one track and I show them real quick how to do another. I had watched Paul McCartney one time years ago. He was showing he had made a record. And it was just, oh, if I did this, I did that. He started playing the drums and started doing that. I said, I could do that. I mean, I might not be Paul McCartney, but I could do it. So I started laying down tracks and just coming up with ideas. I hate hearing myself sing, but somebody's got to do it. So I do that. It's just
Yeah.
great.
Now you mentioned Paul McCarthy was one of your musical influences. What other type of influence you had?
Oh, I love everything. I could go back. One of my first concerts I ever went to was a band called 10 Years After with Alvin Lee. I don't know if you
Oh
ever heard
wow.
him. Really great guitarist. And that's the kind of thing I like. I don't know if you listen to any of my stuff, but it's not a strum. I don't strum. I do a
Yeah.
lot. I do a lot of picking and different. I try to come up with a different sound, even with harmonics and different
Mhm.
different things, off tunings. I mean, other
Mhm.
bands do it, but I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know if you would say I'm different, but I could never all growing up. I never really heard anybody exactly doing what I was doing. Not that I'm so unique, but I mean, everybody's got their own style,
Right.
and mine was more of a, I don't know. I didn't have the common sense to do it the way they're supposed to do. I just picked and grin. I did a lot of picking and try to
Mhm.
do runs and come up with ideas, lyrics. It's crazy, but I like all sorts of stuff. I could go back to the LA punk scene. I used to go to in fact, I used to play at this bar in Buffalo. It used to have all the major punk bands like
Mhm.
Fear and Black Flag, X, and those guys used to really. That's when I knew. I mean, I always wanted to play, but those guys really lit it up, and that's the kind of thing I knew. That's what I wanted to do. Band called
Wow.
Teenage Head from Canada, amazing band,
Wow.
stuff like
Well,
that.
well, you know what? When I listen to your music, it definitely feels like a lot of strings.
Right.
When listen to your music, you just froze again. So I just want people to know he's going to unfreeze. Um, when I listen to your music, it definitely has a lot of strings, and it has this like old school type of rock and roll sound to it a little bit. But then
Appreciate
you have
that.
your own type of flair to it.
I really appreciate you saying that. But that's really what I'm shooting for. I mean, back in the day, I would be cover bands. There's people that wanted to sound like the record, and that's the last thing I wanted to sound like. Yeah, I don't want to hear a record. I'd throw a CD on or something. I wanted to go out there and have a different sound and crank it up and make
Right.
people's ears hurt a little.
Well, you definitely do a good job creating your own musical style and sound.
I
Now,
really
what type?
appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. What type of musical instruments do you play?
Well, mainly a lot of electrics. I don't know if you ever see my handle. It's 12-string jack. I got like 3 12 strings. I used to do that, just for
Hmm.
like when I was working a lot and I really couldn't do the band scene. I would be, as I was saying before, I do coffee shops and stuff like that, and I'd go
Hmm.
out there and really strum it up. But I get a 12-string just to get the noise and have that ringing sound. But right now I got a nice Les Paul. I play the bass. I do my own drums, but right now I've been actually playing them on the keyboard. I'm a two-finger guy.
Oh, that's
All my
great.
drums are that. It's not nothing pre-recorded or I'm not doing loops or beats, and there's nothing wrong with that. But everything I do, it's coming from me somehow or another, and that's
Wow.
how I do it.
Now I want to talk about your new song, No Illusion.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Can you tell me how did you come up with that song concept? Did you write the music?
Oh, I wrote everything, but I'm a I'll sit there and start jamming away and come up with ideas. Like I said before, I do a lot of overdub. In fact, I do everything. So sometimes I'll come up with a basic rhythm. A lot of times I'll write my songs with the bass just to have a bottom end, and I'll add to it. But I think on that song, I do remember I was jamming away on it, and I was actually fooling around with the harmonics, which is it's a little technical thing, but you get
Mhm,
that sound there, and I started getting that sound, and then I would lay out a rhythm. And
mhm,
I usually do in fact, I almost always do my music first before lyrics. I
mhm.
never know what I'm going to come up with. I try to fit it in afterwards. Uh, I don't
Yeah.
know. Once I start rolling along on music, there's one or two songs that I could say I actually wrote, but
Mhm.
I'm probably backwards. I'm sure. Really. I mean, most people would have an idea, a love song, whatever. I just come up with the music and fit it in.
And it just comes out very
It comes out.
naturally.
I'm very, yeah, it does. And I don't know. I can't explain why,
Yeah.
but grateful
That's
for it.
that's definitely a gift. It doesn't sound rushed. It doesn't sound pushed. It doesn't sound like you're trying to get something forcefully out. It just comes out very naturally and beautifully. So that's definitely a creative gift.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah.
You're welcome. Now, as we get ready to wrap up this interview, can you tell our fans out there where could they find you? How can they connect with you on social media? And if they wanted to book you for upcoming performance or show, how would they be able to reach out to you?
Well, right now, the best way to get a hold of me would be on Twitter at 12 String Jack. I have a Facebook page at Jack Blake and Friends. And I always check I try to keep up with my social media, and always grateful like your station's always playing my stuff. You can always contact me through that, message me. Like I said, right now I'm doing everything by myself, but I have been talking to some other musicians and that are actually interested in wanting to go out and do my stuff, which is I find that weird, but I
That's
should say
phenomenal.
that. No,
Yeah,
it's great. I'm grateful for it, but that's the kind of thing, I have to really, get the right people to do what I'm doing to get my sound. Because
definitely.
right now it's only me, so it's make or break.
That's
Um,
great. But at least you have people who want your sound and want your music because it's so different
oh,
and
I do.
unique.
I did even through the social media. I mean, I'm talking with people in Buffalo, but social media, I've met so many great people, and help. I bounce songs off of people over in England. I got a good friend over there, and I'll send her some songs. What do you think? And this and that. She used to work at one of the early radio stations that I started playing. And Madeline, she always helps me. And her husband's actually an engineer, so I'm always
Wow,
getting good ideas. I'm looking for things, any help I could get.
correct. Because it's
And
all about supporting each other,
well,
right?
yeah, and that's what I mean. Sure, I'd help anybody the same way. You
Correct.
included. You ever need anything, but yeah, you can find my music everywhere. It's all Spotify, obviously, Amazon,
Okay.
Apple, Deezer, all them sites.
Great, great, great. Now you heard it from Mr. Jack Blake himself, and he told you where you could connect with him and find his music at as well, one in tenor. So make sure you go hit up his new song, No Illusion, and you can also check it out on Indie Live Music Radio at urbansocialitesnj.com. If you would like to be featured on our show, please email us at the 101 and 10 at urbansocialitesnj.com. Or if you would like to feature your product or service on this show, make sure you email me or Mac at urbansocialitesnj.com. That's Mac at urbansocialitesnj.com or Ayasha at urbansocialitesnj.com. And make sure you continue to listen to the 101 and 10, where you get to hear and see and learn about an artist, an indie artist, of course, from around the world, 101 and 10 minutes. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have
Oh,
a
thank
great
you.
day.
Thank you,
And
and thanks for all your support.
oh, thank you so much. And we definitely will have you back soon to catch
Love to
up
be.
on the new stuff that you're going to have coming up.
Thank you so much.
You
Anytime.
welcome.